Sleep, the universal activity everyone experiences each night. Just to be clear, I'm not here to sell you a mattress, but I really want to know how many of you get a good night's sleep majority of the time. Do you wake up feeling refreshed? What about well-rested and ready to start the day? These are concerns that have been constantly lingering in the back of my mind, as sleep has been a prevalent issue my entire life. Though I have dealt with sleep problems, it benefited my mom when she got upgraded to a private room after giving birth. I couldn't sleep through the night, and it was so bad I had to be brought to a separate room. Thanks to my sleep apnea, even the nurses couldn't figure out how to soothe me to sleep. My body woke me up every 10 seconds, just so I could gasp for air. Safe to say, I know what it's like to get a bad night's rest. At just 2 years old, I had an invasive surgery where doctors removed my adenoids and tonsils after a sleep study concluded it was necessary to combat my sleep apnea. You must be thinking, the problem is now magically fixed, right? Well, not exactly, as while doctors addressed my physiological sleep problem, the psychological issue at hand still persists. Over the last decade, I have been in and out of doctor's visits and have experimented with a wide variety of sleeping aids. Meditation, melatonin, exercise, white noise, dark shades, and prescription remedies like trazodone. It's a bit like hocus pocus. You get the right mix of ingredients, and voila, I sleep through the night. I replicate this consistency for multiple nights in a row, and then, boom, something changes. Daylight savings, a late night of studying, the weekend, summer, or a special night out. We all know we live busy lives. I'm sure my fellow juniors can attest to this, especially when we are told to go to sleep instead of staying up late studying. But trust me, you will not regret going to bed instead of finishing that last assignment. And this is coming from a perfectionist. Your ability to function is monumentally more important than a grade you get on an exam that will never matter in a couple of years. Your sleep, on the other hand, will matter in the long run. Somehow, though, we tell ourselves it's more important to finish that project or to finish that really important 10-part TikTok series. We tell ourselves it's okay because we can just make it up on the weekends. But newsflash, our bodies don't act like bank accounts. Sleep debt is real, and it's almost impossible to fix. Yet with the insomnia I have, it's hard to even fall asleep. I kept asking myself, why won't my brain just turn off? All I've ever wanted since I was born is to sleep soundly. I felt like my mind was uncontrollably spinning in circles. My fear of feeling too tired caused me to lack productivity in my life. When I didn't get a good night's rest, thinking about sleep controlled my every day. While sleep is vital to every aspect of our lives, the ability for us to simply feel rested will exponentially improve our life. Everyone is always talking about wanting to be the best version of themselves and wanting to develop clarity of where they want to go in life. Yet, it is proven the only way we can accomplish this is by getting sufficient rest. We need to think about the bigger picture when trying to prioritize sleep. Just focusing on the actual time in bed will not get you the results that you need. Those who don't struggle with falling asleep or stay asleep through the night might think they are exempt from rest issues. However, it may be surprising to know that issues regarding rest are prevalent no matter the amount of sleep you may get. 8 hours of sleep doesn't mean anything if you're not feeling rested. Physical rest is just one piece of the puzzle. In fact, there are actually 7 different types of rest: sensory, physical, mental, social, emotional, creative, spiritual. And we need all of them. Rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, is the deepest form of sleep, playing a vital role in memory and cognitive development. A deficiency in this would result in the inability for us to relax our mind and muscles. This stage of sleep adheres to the psychological impact of sleep, which ultimately is the key to unlocking our ability to feel rested. This was the hardest pill for me to swallow when consulting with my sleep doctor, but she told me it is essential for me to have a consistent wake-up time throughout all days of the week. including on the days where I crave sleeping in the most. Having a sense of routine will guarantee that your body is on track to know what time you should start feeling tired and what time you should be ready to wake up. While it doesn't hurt to have a cold, dark room for sufficient rest, the way I've been most successful is by tricking my mind into thinking that it's time to fall asleep. So, even if the environment changes or circumstances change, your personal ritual can stay the same. Consistency is key. For me, it's taking a warm shower and shutting down my computer. This is sensory rest. Turning off lights and devices naturally relaxes us. So I can trick my brain into thinking that it's time to go to sleep, even if it's an hour earlier, whether it's homecoming, finals, or I'm in a different location. My body has learned that certain actions tell my brain when it's time to go to sleep. I no longer depend on sleep medication, but instead allow my body to produce its own melatonin. Physical changes can be made, but no one should expect these small changes to help them in a day. That was my rude awakening. In all the years I've struggled with insomnia, half of the battle has been the result of me thinking it will never get better, no matter how hard I try to correct it. It is mandatory for you to have the mindset that you can improve your rest. Everyone needs to remember that practice doesn't make perfect, but it does make progress. Committing to following these patterns even half of the days of the week will ensure that you are making progress. So no, I don't get upset when I naturally wake up at 7 a.m. on the weekends because it means my sleep cycle is on track. I wish I could just take a magic wand and wave it whenever I'm having trouble sleeping or feeling rested throughout the day. But what I've learned is that there is no cure. No amount of medication will put me to sleep. It has to be something that I am actively making an effort to fix. And my biggest enemy in this process is me. I've spent the past nights overthinking for this moment on stage, but thanks to my journey, the second that thought pops into my head, I let it completely disintegrate and blow it away. This is mental rest, allowing my brain to take a break from reality. I just take a step back. I just breathe. I want everyone to practice this with me right now. Close your eyes, but don't fall asleep on me. Okay, everyone with me? Inhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your eyes. Congratulations. We all just reset our nervous system and practice spiritual rest by focusing on breathing. Let's do this together. Let's focus on rest and simultaneously fix the problems we all face. By easing our mind into thinking that it's fully relaxed, we will be guaranteed a night of quality rest. Thank you and good night.